His hand is already on the handle when she grabs his wrist, not hard, but fast enough to stop him cold. Her fingers are rough cold, shaking just enough to feel wrong. Don't. He turns his head slow, eyes narrowing, not pulling away yet. Why? She doesn't let go. Just don't. His jaw tightens. It's my cabin. Her grip tightens a fraction. Then trust me anyway. The room holds still around them. No wind outside, no creak in the wood, just her breath and his. He looks down at her hand, then back at her face. You're in my house telling me not to open my own door, she swallows. Yes, a beat passes. You got a real reason? I do. Then say it. I can't. His eyes harden, then move your hand. She doesn't. Please. He studies her now, really studies her. Dirt packed into her knuckles, sleeves rolled past thin wrists, a bruise half hidden near her collar. Her eyes don't blink enough. What's in there? He asks. Nothing you want. That don't answer me. It's not supposed to. His grip tightens on the handle. You think that helps? I think it keeps you safe. He lets out a short breath through his nose. From what? She shakes her head once. From knowing. The words sit wrong between them. He pulls his wrist free, slow this time, and she lets him, but her hand lingers in the air like it forgot what to do next. He doesn't open the door. Not yet. He just stands there, hand still resting on the handle, feeling the cold of it seep into his palm. You been cleaning all morning, he says without looking at her. Yes. Didn't touch this door? No. Why? Because it was already closed. He glances at her. That's not an answer. It's the only one I got. He turns then, leaning back against the wood, arms folding across his chest. The handle clicks softly as he lets go. Her shoulders drop just a little, like she's been holding something heavy inside her ribs. You always this strange? He asks. Only when it matters. And this matters? Yes. He watches her move then, quick and quiet, back to the table where a rag sits in a bowl of gray water. She dips it, wrings it, starts wiping a surface already clean. You missed a spot, he says. She doesn't look up. I didn't. Right there. He points anyway. She moves the rag over the same place again. There. You work like someone's watching, he says. Someone always is. He glances around the cabin. Empty corners. Still air. Ain't no one here. You don't know that. He lets out a low sound, not quite a laugh. I built this place. Then you should know better than anyone. He pushes off the wall, boots scraping faint against the floor, and walks a slow circle around the room. She keeps her back to him. You come here asking for work, he says. I didn't ask. You stood at my door. That's asking. You didn't say a word, didn't need to. He stops behind her. And now you're telling me where I can and can't go in my own house. She wrings the rag again, water dripping between her fingers. I'm asking you not to go there. That ain't the same. It is if you listen. He leans closer, voice dropping. What happens if I don't? She goes still. Not tense. Not scared the way he expects. Just still. Then you see it. See what? What I couldn't leave behind. The words land heavy, and for a moment he doesn't answer. He steps back, eyes flicking once toward the door. It looks like any other door. Wood worn by time, hinges dull, a thin line of dark at the bottom, where it doesn't quite meet the floor. Nothing about it says anything worth fear. You got family? He asks. She shakes her head. Not anymore. Husband? Gone. How? She doesn't answer. He nods once, like he expected that. And whatever's behind that door, he says, eyes narrowing again, that got something to do with him. She presses the rag flat on the table, hands resting over it. Everything does. He exhales slow. You're not making this easy. It's not supposed to be. He looks at the door again, longer this time. The silence stretches back in, thicker now. He can hear her breathing behind him, steady but shallow waiting. You afraid I'll throw you out? He asks. Yes? You think I would? I don't know you. You're in my house. That don't mean I know you. He nods once. Fair enough. And you think whatever's in there, he gestures with his chin, is worth risking that? Her answer comes quick. Yes, no hesitation, no softening. Just truth, plain and hard. He studies her again, the way she stands, the way she doesn't look at the door, like even turning her eyes to it might break something loose. You are hiding something, he says. She finally meets his gaze. I'm surviving something. They hold that look, neither stepping back. The air feels tighter now, like the cabin shrank without moving. He shifts his weight, glancing once more at the handle. His hand twitches just slightly, like it remembers the feel of it. "You planning on telling me the truth?" he asks. "I already did. It was the part you get." He huffs under his breath. "That's so?" Yes, another pause settles in. He walks past her, slow, giving the door a wide berth this time, like it might reach out if he got too close. He stops near the window, looking out at the empty stretch of land beyond. Nothing moves out there either. Too quiet. "You can stay," he says after a while. She doesn't speak. For now. He turns his head just enough to see her in the corner of his eye. "You work, you eat, that's the deal." A small nod from her. "Yes, but that door," he adds, voice low. "That's not finished between us. I know. I'm going to open it." Her hands tighten on the rag again. "I know. Maybe not today. I know." He turns back to the window. "But I will." She closes her eyes for a second, then opens them. "Then I'll be here when you do." The words sit between them, quiet and certain he doesn't answer. Outside stays still. Inside, the door stays closed, for now. She is already on her knees when he wakes, scrubbing the same patch of floor like it owes her something. The wood is damp, nearly worn pale, where her rag keeps circling. Her shoulders move with each push, tight and fast, like stopping would cost her more than the work itself. He leans in the doorway, arms folded, watching longer than he means to. He says, "You missed a spot." She does not look up and replies, "I didn't." He steps closer, boot heel tapping near her hand. He says, "You did." She shifts the rag without hesitation and says, "I'll fix it." He watches her scrub harder now, faster, like she is trying to erase something instead of clean it. He says, "It's already clean." She replies, "It can be cleaner." He says, "Wood don't shine like that." She replies, "It does if you keep at it." He crouches a little, studying the grain. He says, "You'll wear it through." She replies, "Then it won't hold dirt." He exhales, a low sound, and says, "You planning to scrub the whole place to splinters?" She replies, "If that's what it takes." He straightens, eyes narrowing, and says, "For what?" She wrings the rag, water dripping between her fingers, and says to stay. He does not answer right away. The word hangs there, plain and sharp. She keeps working, moving from one board to the next without pause, her breath steady but thin. He says again, "You work like someone's watching." She pauses just long enough to glance up, then back down, and says, "Someone always is." He looks around the cabin, slow and careful, like something might show itself if he gives it time. Empty corners, still walls, that same closed door sitting quiet where it always has been. He says, "There ain't no one here." She replies, "You don't know that." He lets out a short breath and says, "You keep saying that." She replies, "Because it's true." He says, "Or because you want it to be." Her hand stops for a second. He asks again, gently, "What do you want?" She presses rag flat again and says to get through the day. He leans against the table, watching her finish the last stretch of floor before pushing herself up, slow but steady. Her knees crack faint under the movement. She does not react. She moves straight to the counter, picking up the small loaf he left there. He notices the way she holds it, careful, like it matters more than it should. He says, "That's yours." She replies, "I know." She tears it clean in half without hesitation. One piece goes to her mouth. The other disappears into the fold of her apron, quick and practiced. He watches that more than anything else she has done. He asks, "You don't eat." She chews once, swallows, and says, "I do." He asks then, "Why hide it?" She wipes her fingers on the apron like nothing happened and says, "Because I might need it later." He asks, "For what?" She says, "For someone who can't ask." The words settle in the room, heavier than they should be. He steps closer and asks who. She shakes her head once and says, "No one you know." He says that ain't an answer. She replies, "It's the only one you get." He studies her face, searching for something that slips just out of reach. He asks, "You got people?" She says no. He asks then, "Who's the bread for?" She repeats, "No one you know." His jaw tightens and he asks, "Are you lying?" She meets his eyes, steady and calm in a way that feels worse than fear, and says yes. He blinks once, caught off guard by how easy it comes out. He asks about what. She replies about not having people. Silence stretches between them. He nods once, slow, and says, "So you do." She says yes. He asks where are they? Her eyes flick just once toward the back of the cabin, not to the door, but close enough to make his chest tighten. She says, not far. He follows the glance, then looks back at her. He says, you brought them here. She replies, I brought what I could. He says, that's not what I asked. She replies, it's what I'm saying. He steps closer, voice dropping, and asks how many. She presses her lips together and says, enough. He says, that's not a number. She replies, it's the only one that matters. He turns away for a second, like he needs space from the answer. He says, you should have told me. She replies, you would have said no. He says, maybe. She says, no, you would have. He does not argue that. He looks back at her and says, you're putting me in a bad spot. She replies, I'm already in one. He says that don't fix mine. She replies, it wasn't meant to. He runs a hand over his face, rough and slow, and says, you think I won't throw you out? She replies, I think you might. He says, and you stayed anyway. She replies, yes. He asks why. She takes a breath, small but steady, and says because they need to eat. He glances at the bread half hidden in her apron and says that ain't enough. She replies, it's something. He says it won't last. She replies, neither will we if we don't try. He looks at her longer this time, seeing something past the dirt and tired eyes, something set and unmovable. He says, you asking me to help? She says, no. He asks, then what are you doing? She replies, I'm taking what you don't use. He says, that's still asking. She replies, it's surviving. He shakes his head once, not in anger, just in disbelief. He says, you got a hard way of doing things. She replies, it's the only way left. The cabin goes quiet again, the kind of quiet that presses in from all sides. He looks once more toward the back. Toward the door he did not open. He asks, are they in there? She replies, no. He says, you sure? She says, yes. He asks then where? She does not answer. He nods slowly, like he expected that too. He says, you're going to tell me eventually. She replies, maybe. He says, or I'll find out. She replies, maybe. He studies her one last time, then steps back, giving her space she does not ask for. He says, finish the rest. She replies, I will. He turns away, but his eyes drift again, not to the floor, not to the table, but to the spaces in between, the ones that feel too quiet to be empty. Behind him, she pulls the hidden bread free for a second, checking it like it might disappear, then tucks it back where no one can see. He wakes before he understands why. Eyes opening into the dark. Like something pulled him there, the cabin is still. The kind of still that presses on his ears, then it comes again, soft at first. A shift in the air that does not belong. He does not move. He listens. It comes sharper the second time. Not loud, but clear enough to sit under his skin. He pushes up on one elbow, staring toward the back of the cabin. Where the door waits in the dark, you hear that. His voice is low. Careful, she answers from near the cold stove. Without turning no. A beat he frowned, you lying. I said no. The sound comes again. A slow pull. Like something drawing breath through a tight space, he swings his legs off the bed, feet meeting the floor without a sound that is breathing. No. It ain't? Then open the door. I said no. Now he stands fully. Eyes fixed on it. The door looks darker than the wall, like it is holding more night than it should. You don't tell me what to do. She shifts. Finally looking at him, her face pale in the low light. I am trying to keep you safe. He steps forward, the board creaks under his boot. Loud the sound from the door stops like it heard him from what? She shakes her head from knowing. A short breath leaves him, that is worse. Another step, the sound returns. Longer now. At slow inhale, wrong somehow. Too careful, he stops just short of the door. There is a thin line beneath it. Something shifting, maybe shadow. Maybe not something is in there. No, I hear it. You hear what you want. I want the truth. You will not like it. His hand lifts, hovering near the handle. The metal looks colder than the room. You think I scare easy. I think you do not scare enough. The sound comes again. Quicker now then, another rhythm joins it, lighter. Uneven. His hand lowers slightly, that is not one. She closes her eyes, just for a second. Stop. There is more than one thing in there. Stop talking. You told me it was nothing. I told you what you needed. He turns his head. Just enough to see her you lied. Yes, you keep lying. Yes, then why should I listen now? She rises slowly. Takes a step closer because this is the part that matters. He studies her, then looks back at the door. A soft scrape comes from inside. Something moving. Careful, his jaw tightens, that is not breathing. No, then what is it? She does not answer. A small nod from him. You hiding animals. No people. Silence. He turns fully. Now you brought people in here. I brought what I could carry. You said no one. I said no one you know. He steps back from the door. But his eyes stay on it. How long? Long enough. They've been in there all day. No? Then where? She shakes her head. Not this. A knock comes from inside, small. Uneven, then another. His breath catches. That is not wind. No, that is not wood. No, that is someone. She meets his eyes, yes. That word lands heavy. He runs a hand through his hair, turns away. Then back again. Why hide them? Because they are safer unseen, in my house, in any house that will hold. This is not a shelter, it is now. A rough breath leaves him. The sounds soften behind the door. Like they are listening to how many? A hesitation enough to make noise. That is not a number, it is the truth. Another knock. Softer now, a whisper follows. Too faint to understand, his skin tightens. They talking. They are scared. Of me, of being heard. He looks at the door, then back at her. You trust me. A pause. I am here. That is not the same. It is what I have. A slow nod. You going to open it? Her whole body stills. No, you expect me to just stand here. Yes. And listen to that all night if you have to. No humor in it. You got a hard way of doing things. I am not asking. He steps closer again. Shadow falling over the door inside. Everything goes quiet like a held breath. He stares at the handle. His hand lifts. Don't. Sharper now. He stops, fingers inches away. Give me one reason. Just one. She steps closer. Voice tight, because once you see them, you do not get to forget. He swallows. Eyes still on the door. I do not forget much. You will wish you could. Silence stretches. Thick. Unmoving, his hand trembles. Just slightly, then falls. He steps back. Then another, putting space between himself and the door. The sounds do not return. Not yet. He exhales. Slow. You are right about one thing. She watches him. This is not nothing. I know. He looks at her. Darker now, and we are not done with it. I know. He turns away. But not fully part of him, still facing the door behind him. The faintest sound returns, softer now. Like something settling. He hears it. He knows she does too. Neither of them speaks. The door stays closed. The night does not move. His hand goes back to the handle before he can talk himself out of it. Fingers closing tight. Like the choice is already made. She sees it, moves fast. But not fast enough this time. Don't. He does not look at her. I am done not knowing. I said maybe, please. Her hand touches his arm again. Lighter now. Like she already knows she is losing. You do not want this. I do. No, she does not. He pulls the door open anyway. The hinge gives a low, tired sound. Wide. He steps in, first bidding something. Something to match. The sounds. There is nothing. The room is small. Bare. Colder. No bed, no box, no shape in the dark, just empty boards. And the faint smell of damp wood. He stands there, breathing slow, eyes moving corner to corner. Nothing. She stays at the threshold. Does not step in. You were not supposed to look. He turns to her, anger rising fast. Where are they? She does not answer. Her face is still now. Closed. Say it. His voice harder. You were not supposed to look. Where are they? The words hit the walls. Comb back thin. Nothing for a moment. He thinks it is all a lie. Then a creak behind him. He turns fast. Not the remain cabin. Another sound follows. Softer squeak. Light trying to be quiet, and failing. He steps out slowly. Eyes dropping low this time. Not the walls, the ground. The gaps, the spaces beneath come out. Nothing. I hear you. Silence answers. He looks to keep lying. A swallow. No. Then say it. Another creak. Closer. His eyes shift. To the far side, near the table, shadows thicker. There's something moves small. He freezes. It freezes too. You see that? Yes. What is it? Do not scare them. He steps forward, slowly, hands open. Low at his sides, I am not going to hurt you. Not sure who he is saying it to, the shape moves again. Then another behind it, smaller, a third. Barely their feet scraping softly on wood, he stops, breathing. They are mine. Her voice, quiet, steady. He blinks, kids. Yes, that word lands simple. Heavy, he straightens slowly. 3 small figures pressed together, dirt on their faces, clothes, 2 thin eyes wide. Fixed on him like he is the danger. How many? He already knows 3. A breath leaves him slow. He steps back, giving space without thinking. You hid children in my house. His voice sharper than he means. I had nowhere else. You lied. I protected them. The smallest one shifts. Presses closer to the older fingers, gripping brick tight. He notices how quiet they are. Even their fear is careful. How long? Since before I came to you, they've been here the whole time. Near ain't here. It was close enough. He runs a hand through his hair, trying to catch up. You've been sneaking them in and out when I had to. Past me. You do not see everything. A short breath from him. Almost a laugh, but empty. No, I guess I do not. He looks back at them. Really looks now. One stands slightly forward, chin lifted just enough. The others stay close, eyes flicking between him and the door, measuring escape. You got names. The older one tightens. We do not say them. He glances back at her. That you're doing. It keeps them safe. From who? No answer, a slow nod. Figures. He crouches slightly, lowering himself. Not too close. I am not here to hurt you. The older one does not move. That is what they say. The voice is thin but clear. He blinks. Who says? No answer. He looks back at her. What have you told them? Enough. Enough to make them scared of everyone. Enough to keep them alive. He stands. Agon turns away for a second. Needs space. You should have told me. You would not have let me stay. You do not know that. I do. This time he does not argue. He looks around the cabin again, different now. Every shadow smaller, every quiet space occupied. You put me in this. I know. You put them in this. They were already in it. He stops, turns back. What does that mean? A hesitation. Not now. When it matters more. It already does. The oldest child shifts, eyes flicking to the door like expecting it to open. He sees that they expecting someone. No answer. That is answer enough. His jaw tightens. You brought something here. Not just them. They are all that matters. That is not what I asked. She meets his eye harder. Now it is all I am giving you. Silence fills the room again, thicker. Crowded now. Breath. Fear. Something else. He looks at the children, then back at the open door, the empty room behind it. Still quiet, like it never mattered. You hid them better than that room. I had to. A slow nod. Yeah. You did. The room holds its breath. After the last word fades, the kind of quiet that waits to see who moves first. The 3 children stay pressed into the corner, eyes fixed on him like he might change if they blink. He does not step closer. He does not step back. He just stands there, toying to make sense of them. A small voice breaks it. Then, careful, Ma. She answers, quick, soft. Already moving. I'm here. The smallest one shifts, peckering around the older child. Is he mad? She shakes her head before even looking. No. He exhales slow. Didn't know he was holding it, then lowers himself. Carefully. Bending down to their height, hands open. Resting on his thighs. I ain't mad. Quieter now. The oldest watches him. Does not blink. You broke the door. He glances back at it. Still open. I did. That was hers to keep shut. A small nod. I know. Silence again. But different now, less sharp. Like something listening instead of waiting. He shifts slightly, easing the space. What's your name? The question lingers. No answer. The smallest presses closer. The oldest shakes their head behind him. Her voice soft. Tell him. No, why not? The child does not look away. Names get people taken. The words land steady. Practiced. He blinks. Something tightening in his chest. Taken by who? No. Answer. He looks back at her. Slower this time. Who's taking them? She does not speak right away. That same closed look. You already know. I don't. You do. You just don't say it. A long breath leaves him. That don't mean I know it. It means you don't want to. He looks away. Then back again, you telling me someone's hunting them. I'm telling you they don't get to be children out loud. That's not an answer. It's the only safe one. The oldest shifts, stepping slightly forward, a quiet kind of defiance. We don't say names. We don't go where people can see. Why? Because they listen. Who listens? A glance to her. Then back everyone that wears a star. That lands heavier. He straightens slightly, a badge. Under his breath, no one answers. He looks at her again. You going to tell me? A small shake of her head. You don't need me to. He rubs his jaw slowly. I'd rather hear it from you. Why? So I know it's real. She studies him, then looks past him. It's real either way. A slow nod. Silence stretches again, but now it is full. He glances at the children. You've been running long. The smallest looks down the middle, shrugs. The oldest answers, long enough. From where? Doesn't matter. It matters to me. It shouldn't. A faint, almost smile. Gone quick. You talk like someone older. No reaction. Had to. He nods again, something heavier settling in him. They take kids. They take what they say belongs to them, and they think these three belong to them. They think everything does. A slow pass of his hand over his face that don't make sense. It does where they come from. And you ran. Yes? Why here? A glance around the cabin because it was empty. It ain't empty now. I know. A sharper breath from him. If they're looking, they'll come through here. Yes, and if they find them. He does not finish. Does not need to. Small fingers tighten in fabric. They won't. You can't promise that. I can try. He looks at her, frustration and understanding mixing. You should've told me. You were already in it. I didn't know. Now you do. A slow nod, acceptance whether he wants it or not. He looks back at the children, softer now. You don't got to tell me your names. The oldest studies. Him I won't ask again. A small pause. Good. Almost a smile. Gone fast. He shifts. Glances at the door, then back. But if anyone comes, you stay quiet. We always do. Quieter than that. A nod. We can. He looks at her again. Voice lower. Who's leading them? A hesitation. Don't. I need to know. A stronger shake. Don't say it. He exhales. Eyes closing briefly, then opening. More certain. The sheriff. The word Hangshivi final. She does not answer. She does not have to. He watches her face, that slight tension, that flick of the eyes. That's it, ain't it? Quieter now. Don't say it again. The room stills again, thicker than before. Like the name itself has weight. A slow nod from him, understanding. Settling in, he looks back at the children, at how they hold themselves, at the silence they live inside. All right. Barely above a breath. I hear you. No one moves, no one speaks. But the fear shift just slightly, like something unseen has already been listening. The knock comes before anyone moves. Sharp, hard. Against the front door, the kind that does not ask. It hits again. Louder. Wood shudders under it. The children freeze exactly where they are. Eyes wide. Bodies still, like they have practiced this. She turns fast. Breath catching. Hide them. He does not move yet. Where? Anywhere. Her voice stays low, but it breaks at the edges. The oldest moves first, grabs the others. No word spulls them back into the dark spaces between walls. Behind things that should not fit anyone, the smallest stumbles, then steadies. No sound. Another knock, then a voice. Filling the cabin without stepping inside. Open up. He looks at her, a tight nod. He steps forward. Slow. Steady like. Nothing is wrong like. The air is not thinner. Now he opens the door just enough, keeps his body in the gap blocking the room behind him. A man stands there, hat low edge, catching what little light. There is another shape behind him still. Watching. What do you want? His voice stays even. No reaction from the man looking for runaways. He leans on the frame. Casual too. Casual. Ain't seen any. The man's eyes drift past him, searching. You sure? I said what I said. A slight tilt of the head measuring him. You know the law. I know it. Then you know what happens when folks hide what belongs elsewhere. The words land heavy. I ain't hiding nothing. The man's gaze sharpens. Mind. If we take a look, his grip tightens just enough. I do. Silence stretches. Thick behind him, a boot shift, soft scrape on dirt. The man does not move, just watches. You always this difficult. Only when it matters. A faint smile does not reach the eyes. Everything matters out here. Not to me. Another pause, a slow nod. We will be back. You do that. They hold each other's gaze 1 beat longer. Then the man steps back, turns unhurried. The other follows both, walking away like they already know the path. He waits until the sound of boots fades, then shuts the door. The latch clicks. Dull. Final cabin stills again, but not the same still. Tighter now, thinner, like something has been cut open. She moves, first stepping out of shadow, eyes fixed on the door. They will come back, a slow noddy no. The children do not move yet. The oldest peeks out, first checks him, checks the door, checks everything in between. Only then, they bring the others forward. The smallest clings, breathing quick. Silent, then, we are dead. Her voice flat, he shakes his head once. Not yet. He moves past them, checks the window, the back wall, the door. Again, like it might open if he looks away. You know him. A nod, yes. That the one. No answer, but her eyes drop just for a second enough. A slow breath leaves him. You should have told me. I did not think he would come this fast. You said they listen. They do. Then why would he not? No answer. The oldest speaks. Instead, he always comes. He looks at the child. You seen him before. A small nod, yes. Where a beat everywhere. That word sits wrong, too big. Too heavy. He turns back to her. You did not just run. You ran from him, from all of them, but he leads it. A hesitation, then yes. He rubs his jaw slowly, that badge, half to himself. That is not just for show. It never is. He looks at the children again, at the way they watch the door, like it might breathe. Why them? Why your kids? Her face tightens because of who their father was. He waits. She does not speak. What does that mean? It means they do not get to belong to me. They are yours, not to him. And that is enough. It always is. He lets it settle. Blood. He thinks it gives him a right. He thinks it gives him everything. He looks at them again, different now, not just small, not just scared, marked, and you took them. I kept them, same thing to him. I know. Silence again, but full waiting. He walks back to the door, places his hand against it, does not open it. He will come back with more. Yes, he will bring the law. He is the law. A slow nod, then it is not just hiding. It never was. He turns to her, something harder now. You put me between you and him. Yes, you did not ask. No, a pause. Would you have said yes? He does not answer. The children watch him, all three, waiting. Too much weight for their size. He looks at them, then at her. Does not matter now. No. He steps back from the door. If he comes again. You do not speak unless I tell you. A nod, all right. He looks at the children, same goes for you. A small nod, we know. He almost believes it. His eyes move again, door, window, shadows. You brought trouble here. I brought what I had, that is the same thing. Yes, another pause, different this time, like something already decided. He exhales, slow, not yet. Barely a breath, the words hang there thin, but holding as the cabin waits for the next knock. That will not be as patient as the last. He leaves before sunrise. Does not tell them where he is going, just steps outside. Like the air might make more sense, the ground is cold under his boots. Damp enough to hold every step like proof behind him. The cabin stays still, but he knows they are awake. He can feel it, seem as the weight in his chest. He walks past the tree line, past the broken fence, keeps going. Until the land changes, grass, thin soil darkens, then the well, it shows itself. Like it has been waiting, stone ring. Old wood frame, a rope hanging slack forgotten. He stops a few feet away, does not touch it. Not yet. She arrives behind him. Silent. Why here? He does not turn because it remembers. He looks at her now, everything remembers. This one does not forget. He steps closer. Leans slightly over the edge. The well is deep, light gives up halfway, the rest just dark too still. You used this. Not me. Then who? A pause, she steps closer. Stops down, they threw people down there. He looks at her sharper now. Who? Anyone who did not belong. He leans in just a little more, feels the drop in his stomach, cold air rising old. Wrong law did that. A nod before the law called itself anything else. A slow breath leaves him. You telling me this is a grave? I am telling you it always was. He steps back, rubs his jaw. How many? Enough. That is not a number. It is what it felt like. Silence stretches heavy. Low like the land is listening, then a sound not, wind not. Animals a voice ma. Then, uncertain, she turns fast, already moving toward the brush. He follows, slower, careful. A small shape steps out. One of the children holding their sleeve, tight, the others behind, hesitant. But there she kneels quickly. You were not supposed to follow. We woke up. You were gone. He stays where he is, watching. The oldest steps forward slightly, eyes on the well. What is this place? Do not look too long. They do not listen. The smallest steps closer than. Stops like something pulled them back. It feels bad here. He steps closer now, slow. It is just a well. The oldest looks at him. No, it ain't. He does not argue, looks down again. Dark feels deeper now. This is where they threw people. The down there, a small tightening grip. Why? He looks at her. She told me, for not belonging, yes. The child steps back fast. We belong. Too quick she turns to them. You do. A shake of the head. They do not think so. Silence again. Wind brushes past the rope, sways slightly. Like it remembers hands. He steps closer. Once more you hear anything. Not anymore. Not since they stopped coming. That lands heavy. Stopped when? No answer. The oldest steps beside him now. If they come back, would they throw us too? No panic, just thought. He looks at the child, then the well. No. Sybil too light, you sure? A slow exhale. No. More honest. The smallest makes a small sound, not quite crying. She pulls them close. Hey, look at me. They will not take you. You do not know that. A hesitation. I know enough. He watches her hands steadiven now. The oldest looks at him. You said no. I said no. That means they do not come here. It means I will try. Tray is not promise. A nod. No, it ain't. Silence returns, but it moves now, uneasy like. Something shifting below. He steps back from the well fully now. We do not stay here. A nod from her. We should not have come. Maybe we needed to. No answer. The children stay close, clustered tight like. The ground is not steady. He turns once more, looks at the well. For a second something. Maybe a sound, maybe. Memory too soft to know. He turns away, walks first. She follows. The children last. But they come and the well stays behind, dark. Still, like it already knows their names even if no one said them aloud. She is packing before the light fully settles in the cabin. Moving fast. But careful, like speed might wake something that has been waiting. Cloth first. Then food. Then whatever can be carried without sound. The children stay close, watching every movement like they are memorizing. Survival. He stands near the wall. Arms loose at his sides, not stopping her. Yet we will go tonight, she says without looking up. You won't make it. We have to try. Her hands do not stop. He steps closer to the table, watching her fold things tight. Precise tray don't mean safe. Staying don't either. A pause. She keeps moving. The oldest shifts behind her. Eyes flicking between them. The youngest clutches her sleeve. We can't stay here. The child whispers. She nods. Once I know. He exhales slowly. You leave now. You'll be seen before the ridge. We know the paths. The paths are watched. She finally looks at him. Then what? No answer. Silence stretches. Heavy. She tightens the last bundle. Stands. We go. He moves then. Steps in front of the door. Not blocking it with force, just presence. You can still leave me out of this. I already brought you in. He shakes his head once. No, you can walk. And you, she asks. I stay. The words land simple, final, heavier than anything before it. The children go still. She studies him. Not fear. Not softness. Just trying to see what is real. Why he looks past her. Not at the room somewhere further because someone should. That's not an answer. It's the only one I got left. The room tightens like the walls shifted closer. She sets the bundle down slowly. You don't owe us. I know. Then why are you still standing there? He breathes in longer this time, because I know what it looks like when nobody stays. Silence. Lansra one polished. The children watch him quiet. Fixed. He looks at them. Then back at her. I seen doors close. I seen people say it ain't their problem. She doesn't interrupt, and every time, but tea gets worse after. A slow nod from her, that's not your burden. It is now. You don't know that. I do. Silence again, different now, tired. She walks closer, stops just short of him. You could still leave. I could. You should maybe. Then do it. He does not move the children. Watch both of them, now the smallest holding breath too long. I can't. She closes her eyes briefly. Why not? He looks at her directly because no one stayed for me. The room stills like it might crack. She does not answer right away. When she does, softer, that's not the same thing. It is where I come from. Something shifts in her face, not soft, not broken, just real. You think staying fixes that? No. Then why? He looks at the children. The oldest meets his gazitos, not flinch, because it should have happened once. She exhales slowly like she is weighing something too heavy. This isn't your fight. It is now. You don't understand what you are standing in front of. I understand enough. She shakes her head. No, you don't. Then tell me, a hesitation just long enough if they come. She says they don't leave witnesses, a nod, then I won't be one. That quiets her. Again the children shift slightly, the youngest pressing closer. You don't know what they'll do. I got an idea. That's not enough. It is for me. She looks away briefly, trying to find another way. There we leave. She says again softer, now we run. And they follow. He answers, they always follow. She does not deny it. That silence says enough. He steps aside from the door, not opening. It just moving. You go if you want. I won't stop you. She studies him, searching for hesitation. There isn't any. The children watch her now. The oldest speaks, we can go. She closes her eyes briefly. When she opens them, she looks at him. On last time, you don't have to do this. I know. Then why are you still here? A pause is something softer now, because this time he says, I'm not walking away from it. That's when she stops packing. Not sudden, not complete. Just enough that the room changes shape, the air doesn't ease. But it stops pulling toward leaving. The first sound is not fire. Teed is wood snapping under weight that should not be there. Then the second, sharper, closer, like something being forced open. Slowly she feels it first. They're here. She moves immediately toward the children. He does not ask who, he already knows. Stay back. He calls, voice cutting through the room. The children freeze for half a second, then move to her. The smallest clutches her sleeve. Tight outside. Orange flares against the window, not daylight. Not lantern fire. They'll kill us. The oldest says, voice breaking for the first time. He steps toward the door, not running. Not rushing, just settling into something hard. Not if I don't let them. Another sound hits, gunshot, the window shakes. Dust falls like the house is aging faster. Stay low, she says, don't move. A second shot comes faster, closer. Come out. A voice calls loud enough to fill everything. No, he answers. You're harboring them. Another shot cracks wood. Their children? She shouts, their property. Comes the reply. That word changes the air. Something in him stills. He opens the door, just enough men outside. More than two now, badges, catching firelight guns ready. You don't get to call them that, he says. A short laugh answers. We already did. That's when he steps out. No hesitation, first shot hits too fast. To think wood explodes where he stood. He ducks behind the frame, fires back. Once they ain't yours. He shouts, they belong to the land. That line hangs too long, like they believe it. Then the land can fight me. Inside, she pulls the children down. Stay down. Don't move. The youngest cries quietly, like even sound has learned danger, ma. The child calls, I'm here. She answers instantly. Another shot hits the wall, plaster falls. The oldest covers their hedos, not scream, don't let go. The smallest whispers, I won't, she says outside. Fire spreads, heat pushing through wood smoke, slipping under the door. He moves along the wall, low, trying to push them back. But there are more of them. You can't hold this. I don't have to hold it forever. Another shot grazes near him inside, coughing starts. She pulls them back. Stay with me. Stay with me. The oldest looks at her. He'll die out there. No, she says. But it does not fully believe itself outside. He fires again, forcing one backfire, climbs faster, now licking the cabin walls come out. No, he answers, strained, now smoke, tightening his breath inside. Ash falls, she shields the smallest child. You're going to be okay. A promise she is not sure of. Why are they doing this? The child asks because they think they own everything. The child does not respond, that answer already known outside. Another, Shothan, another. He stumbles into the doorway, coughing. Does not fall, steadies, you can leave. One calls, walk away. A short laugh from him, you think this is about walking. Inside she hears him, don't you dare, she whispers. Fire rises higher, wood groans, the structure begins to fail. We need to go. The oldest says, not yet. Now. She looks at them, then at the door, not without him outside. He steps forward again. Gunfire, pauses, waiting. He looks at the burning cabin, hears them inside. Stay back, he shouts, you already lost this. We decide when it's lost. No, you don't. He fires inside, a scream small, breaking ma. I'm here. She answers, pulling them close, firelight, turning everything orange outside. He keeps moving, forcing them back inch by inch, smoke thick, now breathe. Becomes work fire, becomes structure. The cabin groans again inside. She looks at the children, then the door, we stay together. The oldest nods, the smallest shakes, don't let go. I won't outside, he hears it, her voice, child, and he does not stop. Smoke hangs over everything. Like it does not want to leave, the cabin is still standing. But only just like it forgot how to fall. All the way down, fire is gone now, eaten into black ribs of wooden, soft ash, shifting under every small movement. Nothing outside moves first. Not the wind, not the trees, not even the ground feels sure anymore. Thena voice breaks through. Lo, you alive? He pushes himself up slow. His throat is raw, his hands black with soot. He looks around, once ya a pause longer, this time the kids. She shift beside him, half light, catching ash on her face, a cough, then they're here. That is all she says. It takes him a second, then a sound from behind them, a cough, thin, weak. Real, the youngest child. The oldest sits upright, arms around them, both covered in ash, the middle. One blinks, slow, half gone, half here, the air is heavy. But no longer burning, is it over? The oldest asks, not hope, something learned not to trust. He turns toward what used to be the front of the cabin. The door is gone. Just an open gap, toe burned. Everything, is it over? The child asks again. He breathes in, it hurts, but it is clear enough for now. Silence settles softer this time. She shifts closer to him, slow, like her body remembers surviving. She sits, no asking, just there you stayed. She says, I did. You should not have. I know. A pause, tired, not empty. What happens now? She asks. He looks at her, ash on her skinnies steady, in a way they were not before then. Past her toe, the children, all three, still, Thera still, breathing still, watching we live. He says the word lands simple, almost too simple for what came before. She studies him, then nods, once that is enough. The oldest shifts close at others, follow like distance, stop making sense. The smallest rests their head against her shoulder, not asleep, just done fighting. He watches them, no movement, outside, no voices, no boots, only ash settling where fire used to be. They will come again. She says quietly, probably. He answers, and we will be here. Yes, silence follows. But it does not feel like waiting, it feels like something settled. The oldest looks up, we stay here. He looks around, burned, frame broken, walls, open air, where the door used to be, then back at them. We stay, the child nods, onsa-like, that is enough, the smallest exhales long. Slow-like, they finally stopped, holding their breath. No more running. She says, no more hiding. He answers. She looks at him, no more doors. He nods, no more doors. Outside, the wind moves again. Soft certain through what is left of the land, inside ash shifts with every breathery movement, every sign of life still refusing to end, because they are told, because there is nowhere left that feels separate. He sits back against what remains of the wall. She stays beside him, neither move. The silence is not empty anymore. It is occupied like something survived. That was not so's to. And For the first Timon 01 is listening for footsteps that are not there.